Hey, I'm Doug Pasko with Panick Entertainment, working on the new comic TAMA, and you're on Comics Online.
First, let me introduce myself. I'm Kevin Gaussoin, the editor-in-chief and founder of comicsonline.com. We've been around for 25 years now, give or take a couple of weeks. And we're joined by Kent McKee. We partner with Kent and his store here, Time and Space Comics in Stafford, Virginia, quite a bit, being as though Kent was the guy who actually found this new comic. I thought, well, I got to bring him in on this.
Yeah, I saw the cover and I immediately was like, well, click to order. That is awesome.
Perfect.
And going through the book, just kind of love the idea of the Tamagotchi slash Pokemon digitally and then just it coming to kind of life and fruition, you know.
Yeah. So we're here with Doug Pasko and Adam Schlagman, the twisted minds behind Tama. This is a comic about digital pets, and you can see it behind Doug there. This is Tama himself, the digital pet. What's the name of the game within the comic?
It's the Companimals.
The Companimals. It seems so sweet and very, as you say, Tamagotchi style. And yet, something goes horribly wrong because this is a horror comic. So which one of you came up with this, and can give me a little background from where this started?
Sure,
Sure.
Adam, you want to start there?
Sure. Yeah. How long was this now, Doug? Probably 2.5 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, at least 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. I just had the idea of just like what would happen if, because everybody had Tamagotchis at one point, or virtual pets of some kind, Neo Pets or Giga Pets or Nintendogs. There were so many, right? It was just such a fad at the time. And everyone at some point just stopped playing with them and stopped feeding them and stopped caring about them and just like threw them in the closet or threw them out or who knows. And so that idea just popped in my head, like what would happen if those creatures that we all loved and cared for a small amount of time and then lost interest in returned for revenge.
Nice. And Doug, how'd you get involved with this?
Actually, I met Adam on back in the days when I was filming a television series for the CW. So I was over at the Warner Brothers lot when he was working for DC back in the day, and we became friends, kind of throughout that universe. And then we just started, kicking around ideas for like making some projects. And he mentioned this idea to me at the coffee shop, and I'm like, let's do it. We can absolutely do this. And then it just kind of like snowballed from there.
Your CW show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that so that people understand who exactly we're talking with here?
Oh, sure, sure. I've produced a number of independent films and then a television show for the CW. That was a fantasy medieval show. I did make a horror movie. It was also a period horror movie called The Appearance. But the TV show on the out was called The Outpost on CW. Ran in the summer for about 4 seasons. It was a lot of fun. We started filming that in Utah, and then we actually had ended up moving it overseas to Serbia because they have real castles in Serbia.
Serbia.
We were just
We were
talking,
trying to figure out where was it? Was like Hungary or something like that? Serbia.
no, and the
Although it's cool to build stuff in Utah, but man, it's even better to walk into a real castle.
how was that with the whole surrounding? Now, was that an actual town that is in Serbia? I know that you guys also use that for the librarians. Dean Devlin has used that. So, the whole outpost itself, was that built for TV or was that an actual like historical site?
No, built for TV. I mean, the main town itself was built for TV. We built a small version of it that we, very carefully, min-maxed filming in Utah. But when we went over to Serbia, we had like, your dollar went a lot further. So we built like a huge town to film in there. So, and yeah, it's been used for other things. I think the sets are still standing now. I think the studio we partnered up with is maintaining them and letting other folks film stuff on them. So it was a good fun and they came out great. So,
Now, did you
kudos to our art department.
know Dean Devlin beforehand or did you meet on the show?
Oh no, Dean, we partnered up with Dean before we even launched the show. We had, we've been doing a lot of independent film, and then, making a TV show is sort of a different beast. We ended up partnering with someone who's done a lot of television, and he brought a lot of skill and expertise from his whole, production company to the table. We partnered up there. The budget's got a lot bigger, and then we kind of, he helped us land the CW deal and the Sci-Fi International deals, and kind of went from there.
And so, Adam, you were working on various things like I want to say Black Adam and Shazam.
Yeah, so I was at DC about 20 years. Started as an intern, was an editor for a while, probably about 6 years. I worked on the Green Lantern books from Sinestro Corps War through Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and then I moved out to LA from New York, where DC was at the time, to work on the film side. We created when DC became DC Entertainment. Jeff Johns, who was our writer, who was my writer at the time, had a bunch of books. He created a team out here. He became chief creative officer, built a creative affairs team, and so I came out to work on the film side. And so
Okay.
was a I was a film exec on a bunch of the DC films, and then an executive producer on Shazam 1 and 2 and Black Adam.
Very cool. Very
Nice.
cool. Jeff Johns, one of the greats. How was that working with him?
Oh, amazing! I mean, I've learned so much over the years from him, just with regards to storytelling and character, and just finding like the essence of each character and making sure it's stays true to who they are, kind of thing. Especially as you're trying to build things and turn it into media from the comic side.
Nice.
So I see that for the comic here, you've started Panic Entertainment along with some other industry professionals. Um, what made you decide to go your own way from the ground up? Because so many people will go and do like a little imprint on Image or whomever, um, but you guys said no, we're going straight Panic from on bare metal as we IT people say.
Yeah, we're like we want to do all the work ourselves. No.
Yeah, right. That's what it seems like.
We no, we just felt like it was exciting to build our own brand, and so like by creating Panic and saying like, hey, we're a horror franchise, like we're creating horror comic books, and like
Yeah.
we just wanted to try to build something from the ground up and really draw a line for who we are, what we do, and hopefully build a name for ourselves. So if people see Panic, they know what they're getting, and there's quality and it's horror related.
Right on.
Yeah, the
Um,
specialization really appealed to me. It's like something very specifically just horror, dark sci-fi as well. But like that was appealing because I didn't want to be sort of one amongst many, in the sea of like whatever they happen to have. So when we just recently Panic went to a horror convention, which we wouldn't do as a general comic book company necessarily, but Panic like we're really focusing on that market.
which one was that?
It was a Creep IE Con in the
Oh, okay.
Inland Empire, Ontario, California.
Ontario. All right.
Nice.
Um, well, yeah, I guess there are quite a few comic conventions that spin off their own little horror standalone. Like we've got
GalaxyCon does Nightmare
GalaxyCon.
Weekend.
Yeah, it does Nightmare Weekend in Richmond, Virginia. So that might be one for you guys to show up at some point soon. Um, and I feel like what are they called now? The ones that took over Wizard World.
Fan Expo.
Fan Expo. I feel like Fan Expo's got a pair of horror
Oh, I
uh
actually didn't realize that. Mhm.
spin-offs as well. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, obviously a big market for that. So besides your initial group, are you courting horror writers to come on and bring a new comic your way?
We are, but we're definitely keeping the line thin. We don't want to put out too many books at
Sure.
once and go over the top. But so the goal is really to only have two or three comics a month for a while, and
Sure.
go from there. We're doing them all as miniseries, 4 to 6 issues depending, and then collecting them, and then if they're doing well, then we'll do a volume 2 afterwards. But we're trying to keep it all concise and complete stories.
How many issues is Tama?
Tama 6.
6 issues. That makes sense. All right. So we've read the first three,
Mhm. And
and
only the first two are out so far.
right, only the first two are
Yeah.
out. But but thanks to you, I've read that third one, and I felt like I'm like this one isn't quite finished because there was like there's a transition here that needs a little. I'm like, wait, they're at the dinner, and then they're in the bedroom, and there's no like later or anything like that.
Oh, wait until you get to four. Oh my gosh, things
Yeah.
really explode in four.
So, are we ever going to find out? Is it technological or is it supernatural?
The creature, how they get into
Yeah.
the real world. Hmm.
Is it because hey, what you've got a phone and my phone doesn't project force fields or that can attack people. So I'm like, oh, well maybe this is a supernatural thing.
Hmm.
I don't know. Um
I
I don't know
mean,
if we want to do any reveals yet, Adam.
Yeah, I was like,
oh,
I was like, that
but
might
will
be
we
a.
find out? That's what, or is it
yeah.
just like you don't know, just the whole time, 6 issues and you don't know, but people die. All
I
the
mean, issue
in every
five
issue.
gets into the history of how it
Okay.
came to be.
All
So
right, fair enough. Yeah, I'm
I think
already
it'll
hooked. I,
clarify.
I I highly recommend this book. So we're sitting here, and I saw it on the wall, but I'm just like, oh, this is about Pokemon or something like that because we were looking at those second printing with the Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and our friend in common, Chad, came into the store, and said Chad Collins was here for signing, and and he was like, "Oh my gosh, here's Doug Pasco's thing," and I'm so excited to see it. I've got to buy all of these, um, and and I was like, "Oh, I that was the guy you introduced me to on the boat, so I'm gonna have to buy it myself."
Yeah, it
So
was a
I got
small
those two
world.
And I grabbed it and just really enjoyed. I'm an art guy, so when the story like you guys did and the art combined the way it is phenomenal. Absolutely with the gore is not like with the bright colors, it's a great contrast when you have like gore, but also these bright, gorgeous colors with the purples and greens and everything like that. Just absolutely great. It's one of those I could not stop flipping to the next page where I had to see what was gonna happen next.
I just realized what this reminds me of. And did you guys read Crossed?
I actually haven't. Was
It's a
is that Garth Ennis?
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Obviously, you know. And it was by some off-brand. I can't remember who the brand was, but it went for a lot of miniseries.
Mhm.
Um, and it was pretty much, I mean, it was worse than like Faust, if you remember Faust back in the day.
Mhm.
Just blood everywhere, just more and more gore, just practically every page. And I just realized, oh, this reminds me of Crossed.
Mhm.
Just because it's all four-color cheery, or would be if it wasn't for the body parts everywhere.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Um,
We felt like was since it's comics and it's such a visual medium and the pages are stagnant, we really need to show it rather than just imagining it. But
right.
it's still building to those page turns to get to that moment, right? Mhm.
Yep. And I do appreciate a good page turn. You got to know where your turns, where your surprises are. Oh no.
Yeah.
And writers who don't write that way always get me. I'm like, oh, this was a missed opportunity. You got it on a facing page instead.
Same.
Especially like lead up with the
As a
horror.
former editor, that's always a huge thing for me. I'm like, what? Why is it on the right hand page? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Do we have an ad we could have put there? Um, anyhow, you have a great beginning too, and then this is your first comic on this line, right?
Yes,
Yep.
this is Panic's first book. Black Diamond was our second book, which just came out 2 Wednesdays ago,
Oh,
so the
okay.
1st September, and that one's getting some amazing critical acclaim. So we're very very excited about that one as well. It's a completely different story. Like that. That's the other fun thing is like though we're horror, we're making sure they're all different types. Like it's not like everyone's a slasher or everyone's like as a as a like Tom over here, like that. This one's Black Diamond's all suspense thriller.
That's
Edgy.
exciting. That's a
Right
lot
on.
of fun.
We'll have
You
to
know,
check it out. The Black Diamond, is it skiing horror? What is Black Diamond?
It is. It
Hello.
follows a family that's on a ski trip in the Norwegian Alps, and their child gets kidnapped by this cult who sacrifices children to keep the snow coming at the ski resort.
Otherwise, global warming. So they had to do something.
Exactly, it's the only way. And but they offer the parents a a thing if they kidnap another kid and trade it for their kid. Uh,
Oh
they'll
man,
they'll get
wow.
their child back. But obviously that you're sending a child to be murdered, so it's quite the conundrum and something that they deal with. Mhm.
Oh wow. Yeah,
And then
I
our
guess I'm
third
gonna have
book,
to read Black Diamond then.
yeah, and then our third book is Savager, which is out October 1st, and that's by Shannon Eric Denton and Dirk Blackman, and that follows that actually takes place 100 years after the world has lost to these creatures that have come down from these portals in the sky. And so it follows this one guy who thinks he's the last person on Earth who's actually has a creature inside of him, but they have this deal. And so he's just going around killing everyone, trying to get revenge for the death of the human race. And so
Oh,
it's like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max meets Cthulhu, I would say.
wow.
Uh, and then of course he finds this like little human outpost, so he has to see if he can still be human after he's gone through all this and help save them along the way.
Right on.
be excited to read that one. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the who's Black Diamond written by?
Brendan Columbus.
Okay.
He's done some stuff for a heavy metal magazine in the
Oh,
past.
okay. Maybe I heard of him there.
And
Um,
Beirut is the artist. He's also doing a Catwoman run right now, that artist.
okay.
And Cuba Ball is doing Savager, and his stuff is just the action scenes are just out of this world.
Right on. So, looking forward into the deep future, where do you see Panic in the stage of comic books? Where are you going to go with this?
Yeah, the goal is to make really great comics that work as comics. Ideally, we'll be able to also like, expand them into other media and create franchises from these.
Yeah.
Is the term hope? But if they don't work first as comics, they'll never work anywhere else. So they need to be great comics. So like right now, we're just focusing on creating amazing comic books that people will hopefully love and help spread the word on.
Well, you're definitely on the way. I
Yeah.
mean, with this new one that just came out, I'm gonna be picking up and ordering every single one you guys put out. It was just a great book.
Yeah. Um, when it comes to other writers you might be if you were like, hey, you know what, I can get, any writer to come and write a book for Panic, who are you gonna choose?
Well, one we got one actually that I feel like that we've well, two actually that were ones that we targeted early on, and they're not in a first wave just because of timing wise we
Sure.
done in time, but we have David Dasmalchian and Leah Kilpatrick writing a book called The Accessories for us, which will be
Okay.
out in June of next year. So
I
we
totally thought his name was pronounced Dalmatian. I was just like, that's Dalmatian, right? It's close.
I'm gonna send him a link to this
one
video.
David.
Oh,
And so that
fantastic.
one
It
really
it remind me, it's on the tip of my brain. What do I know him from?
everything. Like if you see him, you would recognize him instantly. But he's been in Dune. He was Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
I
we
know.
go.
Yeah,
In
he's
Ant-Man. He Late Night with the Devil. He starred in.
MacGyver. Yeah, like
He's
He's been
probably
he's
in
been
it.
in
Yeah.
everything. He's gonna be
my
in
wife and I,
Super.
we watch so much stuff. Being film, I was in film as well, being a camera operator. But every time he comes on screen, we're like, that guy.
Oh yeah.
We love him. Like absolutely love
Yeah.
everything he
And
does.
he loves comics and he loves horror. Like those are two of his giant passions. So that's why we were like, we got to get him. And so
That's
Do,
awesome.
he
do you guys have any particular inspirations or horror writers that really inform how you write horror?
Hmm. Doug, what are your thoughts on that one?
I don't know. Well, so honestly, I'm new to the comic space, and I've been learning from Adam so much. So like for me, it's just like it's a whole new medium that I'm like, I don't have any production budget. I can do whatever I want.
Right? It's
Like this is amazing. So
yeah,
I'm
the
kind of like
artist gets paid the same either way if it's big budget or small. Just
Mhm.
yeah,
talking
yeah. So I'm a
heads.
little bit of a newbie. I don't have as much fun, but also I feel like I'm coming into it fresh. Like I have my own unique perspectives on everything, so I don't have quite the history to.
Well, I guess do you have any favorites from comics you've read?
Jeez, I don't know. Adam's got to have a great inspirational author here.
That's fair.
I mean, I wouldn't say for myself, when we're writing horror, I feel like I try to treat it as if it's not horror. Like obviously the moments and everything need to feel horror and you need to build up to things. But for me, like something like a Stranger Things or something, right? Which is even though it's a horror show, I feel like it's more for everyone or a lot larger type of audience. And so I try to come at it from that way where it's like you really need to love and care about the characters. And if you do, like it doesn't really matter what they're doing. You're along for the journey. Like you're rooting for them. And
Yeah,
so
it could have taken a left turn into a comedy show, and you're still invested in those characters. Which honestly, I feel and it bears mentioning that that's how I feel about these characters or certainly the main character anyway. In Tama is this kid. You're like, oh, you feel so bad for him. He seems very real, very realistic. Um, you know, some kid uh, with allergies to furred animals. I get it. I've been there. Um,
uh-huh.
and oh hey, he's got a virtual pet instead. And then hijinks, and by hijinks I mean murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also love the idea that since you can't see the creature unless you're using VR or AR, that his allergies would kind of help with that
Yeah,
and
that
also
was kind of
scare
funny.
people with that as well, where it's like why is he getting sniffly?
Now, what it was the inspiration for Tama's look? Did either of you have like a very angry cat, or a bad experience, looking through the character and watching it go through these panels? I was like, I have a cat that acts very similar to this. But
Oh,
what was your inspiration for the look of the character?
definitely. I mean, cat-like, raccoon-like, all sorts of like a kind of mishmash, but also like just starts off like super lovable, like this kind of like squishy, little chubby, like sort of unique creature. I grew up, not so much with like the Neopets and stuff like that. I grew up with like the Furby. And so like in my brain, like there's a little Furby vibe in here as well. And I have a kind of if a Furby came back, mine would definitely kill me because I couldn't get it to stop making noise. So I ended up disassembling it as a kid to take it apart so it stopped doing stuff. So I'm like, oh my God, that thing would want to murder me so bad.
They've been re-released. In fact, my wife
We
was just here. I thought she brought her Furby along, but
we
Is,
sold
is it
ours.
still
We had
happy?
one that came into the store, and we couldn't wait for this thing to get out of the store because it would just stare at us. And we were like, can take the batteries out, like this thing?" But a little girl came in and was like, "I want that," and I was like, "It is yours." But because we all remember now, it's now there's several characters, Labubus and things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Labubu's have taken over. And then Tamagotchis are back, and I think Neopets is relaunching, and so I feel like timing wise, we might be on the money.
Yeah, very much so.
yeah, well, yeah, and Pokemon is I feel like hotter than it was back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, I have an 11-year-old, and he watches the show, he collects the cards. I mean, I used to as well when I was a child. So
Yeah,
it's
well,
cross
my
generation.
son's 30 and he collected the cards back in the day, and he still has them now. My daughter's 13, and I watched through however many different shows there were for Pokemon, and while
Her
I don't think I would show her Tama as yet, that certainly might be up her alley.
Yeah. I mean, I also enjoy kind of like the modern, like we have all these things coming back, but also like the sort of existential threat of AI kind of mixed in it here. It's kind of like, Tama in some ways, like, okay, it's meant to be cute and cuddly and be your best friend. And a lot of times its decisions kind of feel like what AI would do. It's like, oh, well, I want to accomplish this task. Oh, this will accomplish the task. I'll make my human happy. It's like that is not the way to make your human
Yeah.
happy.
Put Alexa with a Furby and just find out what happens.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wince a little bit whenever my wife decides to argue with Chat GPT. I'm like, don't, it'll come back at us.
Yep. Oh
and
no.
Doug
She
actually
also is extra polite too, so it goes back and forth.
Doug also
Hopefully,
comes from a tech.
eventually, we'll be friends with Chat GPT and it will save our lives in the distant future.
I hope so.
Yeah.
You should stop trying to friend machines.
Then there's that. Then there's that approach.
We've learned this from Skynet. We've learned this from every science fiction there ever was. But this is a new take on it that I absolutely love. Taking back from the 90s of all the nostalgia too.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic when it comes to the writing and the visuals for your book. Absolutely a throwback, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that we will also get to meet more than just cursorily the rest of the comp animals, or at least some amount of them, just because why not? Or and maybe I'm being a little too spoilery, or just looking out a little too far ahead. Do you have plans for future arcs, future miniseries where, oh, now we're going to talk about this comp animal's reign of destruction?
The
I
spider
mean,
scares me. Like like the spider and the frog. I'm like, the frog is if you do something with the frog, I want to see how that goes.
it is funny that everyone's kind of drawn to a different companimal. Like Chris Longo, our publisher, he loves a Como, which is the like alligatorish looking one.
Yeah.
And like everyone has their own one that they seem to really enjoy. Or Tony Fleece really likes the tree one.
Oh,
For
okay.
The squid one, I mean, and then the fry
The ice one.
yes. Like just the uniqueness of it. Um I can see them going everyone, and I'd pick up every single one of those books.
I suppose, this it might be a little cliche, but this is an interview after all. What are your favorite Pokemon?
oh,
Oh.
I mean mine. Mine is the unfortunately like on the nose. It's the Charizard.
I was gonna
that
say
everybody-
Fair enough. What about
Yeah,
you, Doug?
yeah. It's not an obscure one.
No.
Oh no, I'm worse. I don't know the world super well, but every cartoon with Pikachu saying Pika Pika, like that little cute little sound, I'm like, I'm done. This is my guy. I mean, yeah, the ones are cool, the squirrel and
Right.
Charizard and everything. No, I want to see like the sort of like do 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 do. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I get it.
I
Well, which is kind of similar to your Tama here. It's a electric raccoon cat.
Yep.
Yeah,
they've also got the obscure ones. I had to explain to a child in our store. Rubbish. There's one called Rubbish, and
That's the
it's just
trash
a
bag.
bag of trash. And they
yeah.
were like, but it's not named after that. I was like, that's the English term for trash. And she was like,
Oh.
oh. So I mean, there's so much that you guys can expand on, and I think you've done a great job
Yeah.
creating that niche market, like I said before.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to build it into a world for sure. So like though this one's mostly Tama, there'll be flashbacks and things where you see a bunch of the other creatures, and then we have some unannounced projects in the future, which that we've already figured things out for that'll feature more creatures, and as well as we already have our plan for the next few volumes of this. So,
Oh, really? Oh, fantastic then. Oh,
You've not
yeah,
seen the last of the other companimals. Don't
yeah,
worry.
this will continue.
After the four or you said six, I'm sorry. Six issues are done. Are you guys gonna put it
oh,
into
that's what he said.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, he said that they're going to do a compiled a trade,
yeah.
Yep.
and
So
then more volumes
I'm excited.
And some other stuff.
and some other stuff.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go back to this until I get a great answer because I feel like there's one under the surface here. All right, living or dead, horror writer. Who would you want to employ as a panic writer for just one comic?
Hmm. Living or dead?
I don't want to hear your answer.
I know this is a good one.
I don't know. I
I mean,
mean,
Stephen King is the.
Stephen King. Yeah, that's a gimme, right? That's
Yeah.
good.
I'd rather go with Joe, actually. I mean, but
Joe
that's just
Hill?
me.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
Hill's great. Um, I think I would, being as though I said or dead, then naturally I'm going to Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
What
And
about you?
mine's not so much a writer, but I do Ridley Scott.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah, he,
creator
he
Aliens
puts
and Blade
together
Runner and yeah.
a great horror movie. Um, all right. Panic Entertainment, you're doing comics. You got two out now. You got a third one coming out. What's the drop date for the your third title?
October 1st, Savager #1.
Nice. And gosh, where do I want to go from here?
We talked about David. Did we talk about
Oh
some
yeah,
of
I
the
didn't
other?
say what that book was though. So it's called the David Dasmalchian Leah Kilpatrick book is called The Accessories, and it follows the assistants to the monsters. So it's Mrs. Hyde, Igor, and Renfield, and so they get fed up with their abusive bosses, and they kind of go out on their own to fight back. And so it's got their fun, incredible, quirky style. So it's horror, but there's some humor in there. It's a really awesome book. So can't
League
wait.
of Henchmen.
The League of Henchmen. All right. That's fun. It's kind of a what's that? Oh, the two girls who do the comedy music. Uh, Garfunkel and Oates. It's it's the other one, you
Huh.
know. That sounds fun, and it sounds perfect for David to it's kind of like, oh, these are the sorts of characters that he plays anyway. So here you go.
Do you guys
Yep.
have a favorite out of the classic horrors? I mean, we're talking about the Universal monsters, things like that. Is there a favorite that you guys have? When it comes to Dracula and all those characters.
Mhm. That's a good question. Mm,
Favorite? Oh, it's interesting.
I guess Frankenstein for me, probably.
Okay.
I like the misunderstoodness of it.
Right on.
Nice.
I'm much more in the vampire universe. I want the like living forever, like sort of like leeching off of society, figuratively and literally.
Those are fun. I do like a good vampire story because of those same reasons.
Yep.
Um, all right. Well, we've got Tama number 3 coming out real soon. I haven't even seen the cover yet. Who do you have for the cover on that one?
#3, we got Ashley Witter doing cover A. Cover B is Daniel HDR, which is kind of an homage to the original. Uh, I guess I don't know if we're supposed to say that. The original Pokemon ad, like the print ad.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So it's a fun little take, and it features all the companimals on it, which is cool, or a bunch of them. There's more.
Right.
There's more that haven't been seen, and so those are covered A and B, and so those are like you could order each individually, and then the 1 in 10 continues the Tony Fleece video game homage covers, and so that one actually features Frigg, the cool icicle one.
Yeah.
And it
Very
looks
cool.
really.
Right on. Well, I guess really the only other thing that I want to talk to you about is to kind of break off and do a couple of uh quick little mini interviews with you guys if you guys are amenable. Are you down? Do you have the time?
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever gives you.
So, like I said, Comics Online is celebrating 25 years, and as part of this, we're talking to industry professionals uh, who, who we are interviewing this year, talking about their secret origins. We're calling this Secret Origins. Um, so Adam, being as though you're on screen now, we should start with you.
Sure.
All right, three quick questions. The third we already know the answer to. First question is, what was now you're known for movies, right? You're also known for comic books as being an editor, right? Um, what was the first movie or comic book or both that really had an impact on you?
Uh, let's do both. Well, let's say
Okay.
movie would probably be Star Wars. Just the lore, the world, just being able to dive into it, and then have things that you can expand. Like since it was such a franchise, right? Like you could have action figures and cards and different things, and you can really just fully dive in and immerse yourself and learn about each character. And then comics, that was the other thing I loved about comics is that like again, these were whole worlds and there were crossovers and right and you get it, you read the end of the issues, right? It has the cliffhanger and you can't wait to go to the store in a month. And right, it was like to me they were like, and then with your friends if they're comic friends too, right? Like it's like those were the water cooler moments back in the day kind of
What
thing.
what was your first comic book that really made you think, oh, I got to keep reading comic books?
uh X-Men stuff, probably the Jim Lee X-Men.
Okay,
Yeah, was when I first like really fully
that
immersed
that
myself.
was a solid run.
And then actually got from and I mean Spider-Man and X-Men were always my favorites growing up. But the DC thing that I loved when I was really young, I found they had in a 50 cent bin the entire Crisis on Infinite Earths set.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And obviously there is like it's like these characters can die. This is insane.
Yeah, especially somebody as powerful as Supergirl.
Yeah. And then they actually stayed dead for a long time.
Well, show the true power of people like
Now no one
Constantine.
stays dead.
Yeah,
There's no such thing as death in superhero comics, unfortunately.
there you go.
We're not going to bring anyone back to life, though, right? Doug, maybe, probably not.
Unlikely. Doesn't seem like that kind of book. It would be
Yeah.
interesting, but then they'd have to be, digitized or something. Um, so, um, our second question is, how did you get into the industry yourself?
So I was again huge comic nerd, big fan. So I went to school in SUNY Stony Brook. I grew up in Long Island, New York, and Marvel and DC publishing was out there in the city. And so I literally applied for every internship at Marvel and DC. And I was fortunate enough to get an interview at DC in the advertising department because I was a business management major. And they said it was between me and someone else, and they said by the time you get home on the train, give us an idea. We're trying to sell Slim Jim, Mad Magazine into Slim Jim because DC owned Mad Magazine. And so I was like, oh, what if you did Spy versus Spy comics like Bazooka Joe kind of style size inside the Slim Jim wrappers? And so
Oh,
that
nice.
got me an internship. We never sold it in, but it got me the internship.
That's awesome.
That is cool though.
Yeah.
Comics certainly sold a lot of Slim Jims because they were those ads were in a lot of comics.
Yeah. And
But
so
putting comics into the product, that's a whole nother thing.
so I interned 2 semesters and then got hired full time. Like I think I started a month before I graduated, and then was there for like nearly 20 years. Yeah.
Wow. Um, and our third question is the one we just talked about. What are you working on now? And I think we've spent the whole episode here talking about that, so I think that's covered. Now, and I guess the tail end of that is, well, where can your fans see you? Where are you doing appearances?
Upcoming appearances. Actually, I don't think they announced it yet, but we're supposed to be at Arsenal Comics in Thousand Oaks on September 27th, I believe, if
Okay,
that's a Saturday, from
very
11
cool.
to 1. Uh,
Very
but um,
nice.
but if you follow us on either on Instagram at time.to.panic, or my own personal one is A Schlagman.
Very nice. Thank you, Adam.
Thank
All
you
right,
guys.
Doug.
I appreciate it.
All right, same questions. Doug? What was the comic or television show? Since we know you mostly from doing TV, what's the television show that first had a big effect on you?
Oh, television show. Hmm. Oh man, way back it's all cartoons, but
Well, that
no,
that's
I mean
valid.
no, but more. I think more movies that really got me like super excited when I was much younger was stuff like Goonies, where it's like people like me like actually having a real life adventure that at the time felt plausible.
Yeah,
But
Everybody wants to find that map in the attic.
we do.
Yep.
yeah, right. I mean, that just seemed like such an awesome thing that like could happen, and like I may or may not have gone in the attic looking for stuff.
Right on. And what about comics? I obviously, here you are writing comics now. So what was the first comic that had an impact?
Well, actually, this I was never really a comic person back in the day. I'm a nerd, super geek. Like I grew up with technology. Like back in the day, like I ran like bulletin boards. I was like writing my own like FidoNet and WWIV. If you ever heard of those BBSs way back in the day,
Wow.
like I was like a super geek. So like this is all sort of new for me. I did internet stuff for years and years working for all the big tech companies, patenting things, yada yada. And then that kind of, I don't want to say got old, but just it wasn't as creative as it used to be in that space. And my friends were they made video games, but then they switched from making video games to making movies in Utah. And they're like, hey, come make movies with us. I'm like, what? I can make movies too. Like this, so I got went out there for a couple weeks at a time while we're making some independent films, and I'm like, oh, I'm hooked. This is like something creative that everyone knows about. Like, they can see it. Like my mom can go watch the movie. Whereas like my internet stuff's like when I did a good job, like the better job I did, no one knows about it because everything just works. I'm like, it was creative, but not the same kind of creative. So I totally went way off board with the question.
No,
But
that's all right. You actually rolled right into that second question is what, how you started in the industry.
oh yeah, I mean, so it was definitely with the Aerostorm Entertainment guys out in Utah doing independent films out there, and that was great. And we got some ideas for some more movies and the show, and then we like I moved out to Utah for a few years, like filming the television show and really getting into it. And then right before the pandemic, for better or for worse, I moved to LA, trying to like continue that and like get the next project going, and then the whole industry kind of like went on ice, unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, kind of like derailed it. But I could spend time with Adam making comics, so it worked out.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Anyway, hey, thank you for your time, and we'll be talking with you.
All right, have a good one. Thanks again.
See
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Ah.
Come and get Tama at Stafford Comics. Oh no, sorry, was it Time and oh Jesus.
Time and Space Comics.
I gotta write this down. Hold on, I'm terrible at this.
You see why we're behind the camera? We don't.
Terrible.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's why I was a cameraman. I was always behind the camera.
Oh man, I used to be a drama kid, and the worst thing is remembering the lines exactly. Apparently, people want you to repeat them correctly. I don't know why.
Okay, I'll try one more time. Come and get Tama at Time and Space Comics in Stafford, Virginia.